guys, welcome back. We are once again working on the Different Faces Challenge, the Disney edition. This is our third Snow White. This is actually, I guess, the first Snow White that's not from either the original or out of my brain. And we're actually basing this one off a TV show called The 10th Kingdom that came out in the year 2000. I watched one episode of this. I just kind of wanted to get a feel for the character before I made it. Unfortunately, she's not featured in that. If you don't want any spoilers, I would just mute me because I'm going to talk about my impressions of the first episode. It's only going to be the first episode, but I'm just letting you know. So yeah, she is not featured because Snow White is actually kind of long dead at this point. We actually are instead introduced to her grandson. His name is Wendell. He gets turned into a dog. A lot happens in just one episode. Like, there's a lot of setup, but it doesn't feel rushed. If anything, it feels like a mini movie. Like, there's just, and I think it's because the episodes are fairly long. But we don't see Snow White. I know at some point she's gonna appear just because there are images of her, so I don't know how that is, but for the most part I really enjoyed it. It was very 2000s, like late 90s. The main female character has like the wispy bangs. They're just like 3 strands more or less, and you know, kind of the scuzzy dad, but not super scuzzy, just a little scuzzy. The bad jokes, and the terrible CGI, but it was still kind of charming. And I mean, somebody clearly had a fetish as well. I'm gonna throw that out there. There was lots of talk of shoes and feet. But like, I loved the trolls that were introduced. I also loved, it's a small thing, but there's 2 male trolls and a female troll. They're siblings. And I knew the names of them, and I knew one was named Bluebell, and I'm like, oh, that's the sister. It was not the sister, it was one of the brothers. And yeah, it was a very interesting little show. I'm probably going to finish it. I can only watch 5 episodes for free on the streaming services that I have. And I think there's 2 seasons. Like, I don't think it actually got very far, but we'll see. It was cute regardless. The basic premise is that there's 9 kingdoms, but then Wendell gets turned into a dog by his evil stepmother and escapes to like another kingdom using a magic mirror. Well, the magic mirror takes him to New York, which is the 10th kingdom. And I will say, it was kind of jarring because, I mean, obviously after September 11th, like, a lot of movies and things photoshopped out the Twin Towers. That's just a thing. Even shows that are set pre that and should have them there, have them photoshopped out. It's just a thing that I've gotten so used to that when I saw the title card for this and it had the Twin Towers very prominently featured, it was jarring. It was odd, because it's one of those things that, like, you know, people say never forget and all that, but like at the same time there does seem to be a collective effort to pretend that that never happened, which I thought was kind of interesting, and I hadn't really thought about it before. But yeah, an odd thing, I guess, to be smacked in the face with while I am working on making Sims, but hey, it's fine. I will say, so the screen recorder program that I use for this, and that I've kind of been testing and playing around with, is Fraps. Because I use it for screenshots anyways, and so I decided to just upgrade and pay for the video, which there's some pluses and minuses with it. Movavi I don't like because if I focus it on a game, like, I have to change the aspect ratio every time. Like, it includes the top bar, and that's really aggravating for me. So I'm not big on Movavi. Fraps, I can't tell, like, I can't see, there's no like, hey, you've been recording for such and such minutes, which is problematic for me because I can talk a lot and I'll end up recording something for an hour, and that's not good. And it also, I don't know, every time I open a video in my like video editing software, it's like, the aspect ratio is wrong, and I'm like, oh, okay. But like, normally I would have basically paused the footage while I was picking out hair and things like that if it got too long. and I couldn't really do that either. I can't pause. So, I don't know. I do wish my screen record, because I had Cyberlink, and I paid for it, but like, I had to reinstall it because it was stealing focus. I've mentioned this. And now it's not recognizing that I paid for it, which is super frustrating. And I hate reaching out to them because every time they're like, well, you bought this program and we let you download it. You only get that once. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. I paid for it. I paid for Movavi like 7 years ago, and I was able to download it without any issues. Cyberlink is just really frustrating that way. So I don't really recommend buying it unless you are going to save the setup files like a monster, but like, it's just frustrating. Because if I could just record it with it and have it not steal focus, it would be fine. I don't even regret paying for Fraps because I was kind of getting sick of like the numbers in the corner, but you can't hide it with the free version. And you also can't save as PNGs, you have to save it as bitmaps. So in that way, like, I'm like, you know, it would be nice. I don't know, I'm just complaining about it. I had a really hard time with her hair because she basically had like a bump it and then like a bow white ribbon, and I had the ribbon, but the hair, I just did not have the right hair. I changed the hair a couple times. The actual final result is a little bit different because I also didn't have, she had short shoulder length kind of bumped hair, but I also didn't have the right outfit that had a fat morph, which was really important to me because the Snow White in this show is plus size and I didn't want to take that away. So I picked an outfit for her, but I actually went back and recolored something just kind of real quick. It was just a quick and dirty recolor because she was basically like in an Éowyn gown from Lord of the Rings, like white flowy sleeves, black corsety top looking thing, but not like laced, it was just the top part was black. So I found the Epic gown, one of the recolors of it. Yeah, she's basically in that, but this doesn't have a fat morph, so I couldn't use that. And I was like, grr. So I had to go through all of my clothes. And yeah. I am happy with the final result. I think she turned out special. Alright, I cut out some of the footage. This dress she's wearing right now is actually the one I end up recoloring later. I'm not going to recolor it right now, but I was trying. I almost did this one, but I really wanted like the V shape at the waist. I went with this one because it was kind of lacy and she did have like lace at the top, but like I said, this is not going to be the permanent one. I'm still not happy with the hair, but it was, again, as close as I was going to get. And I had to give her red lipstick. That is an iconic Snow White thing. She's got to have red lips. A little bit of mascara, eyeliner-y stuff, and yeah. This is my Snow White, my version of Snow White from the 10th Kingdom. Honestly, I do suggest that you check it out, at least one episode. If you have Amazon Prime, you're able to watch it free with ads. I'm not sure where else you can watch it, but that's how I was watching it. And it's not too bad. Like, the ads are not even that, disturbing. You just gotta go with it. The wolf also is hilarious. So funny, and you know that guy had a lot of fun doing it. But we're pretty much done, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked this video, please give it a like, and I'll see you in the next one.